The Aston Martin V12 Vantage is one of the best cars that Aston Martin currently makes. They took the 6-litre V12 from their flagship Aston Martin DBS and put it into the small, best-handling chassis of the V8 Vantage, creating the V12 Vantage. Autohot has decided to recreate this wonderful car in a wonderful midnight blue colour. To start things off, the paint is very, very nice. It sparkles and it's very clear. There's no orange specks or anything like that. The front and rear lights of this model are done very, very well. The LEDs are shown clearly at the front and at the back. It's very nice too. There are many carbon fiber touches all over this model. To start things off, at the front, there's some very nice carbon fiber decals on the vents on the hood there, and on the front splitter, carbon fiber detailing. The back, you will notice that we have a carbon fiber bumper. Nice, very nice. Starting off with the engine, opening it up, we'll get a click, and you can see that the realistic struts of the Aston Martin V12 Vantage have been replicated perfectly. Moving on to the engine. The engine is actually not bad, with Aston Martin 6-litre V12 shown clearly in print-on stickers, along with this metal bar across. There's also some bottles at the side showing realism. However, the actual depth of the engine is quite poor. There's actually nothing to see down there, which is a bit of a disappointment. Closing that, and coming out, we move on to the wheels and brakes. Although I like them, I feel that they are a bit too chromed for my liking. The small Aston Martin logo on the brakes have been well produced, as well as the Aston Martin badge on the wheels. The side vent and indicator are nicely done, especially the side vent because there's chrome there, correct as per the real car, along with cutout vents. Now, since this car is a British build, if Autohot has decided to make it in a right-hand drive, which is a very good thing because I have a few other British cars that are not in right-hand drive. This is my first right-hand drive model, a very, very nice touch. To open the doors, unfortunately, not like the Autohot Signature Series, it does not come with a door opener tool. Thus, you have to carefully and potentially breaking the mirror to open up the doors, which I think is a major, major fault when you're paying so much for already a model. As per the real car, the famous swan doors have been replicated perfectly. Now, the swan doors are something that are put in place so that when you hit a curb, that you don't actually hit the curb. To show you an example, I've taken some markers here, and I'm just going to build up a bit of a stack. So as you can see, if the doors were to open up normally, they would easily hit it. However, with the swan door, it actually clears it, so when this is coming out of a pavement or something, this is really, really good. Move that away. So that's a really good plus point about the interior, to start off things off. Wonderful swan doors. When you're going inside, you can also notice that the keyhole has been replicated beautifully, which I think is a very, very nice touch. The actual interior is nothing special, it's all carpeted, and there's small details that are replicated beautifully, like the radio channels and the speedometer are replicated beautifully. However, there are some major faults that I find. However, like here, the cutting is not very well. We can actually see the original marks from the mold. Also, the seats have a very funny feeling, almost like cement drying, and it comes off in your hand. The carbon fiber door sills at the side are nicely done as well. Just close that. Moving on into the back. The boot space is welcomed by a very nicely done spoiler that follows the curvature of the rear of the car. Opening it up, you will realize that the parcel shelf at the top follows suit because of these wires. Very, very nice, along with realistic struts at the side. However, the boot actually struggles to stay up. I shall try again. I think that this is a major fault. It's hard to stay up. It's carpeted interior, of course. You can see a bit of a roll cage back there. Coming out of that, we can see the Aston Martin V12 logo shown very nicely and very clearly. Of course, the rear lights are beautiful. Now, the Aston Martin V12 Vantage by Untitled is a very good model. I love it because of its stance especially. I think that it looks incredibly real. However, with this problem with the opening of the rear section of the car and the poor engine compartment, I think that it is a model that maybe some of you may not wish to spin. Untitled also made the Aston Martin Rapide, which is the four-door version of the DB9. However, I think that that's also more expensive, and this also is a much more powerful and a much more sporty car. Therefore, my final scores are exterior, 8 out of 10, interior, 8 out of 10, little details or features, 8 out of 10, however the value is only at 7 out of 10, giving it to a total of 31 out of 40. This is a pretty high score for this model, but I think that they could have done even better by introducing some of the cool features. I'll show you some shots of it now. Thank you, and don't forget, for all your diecasting needs, pop down to dc118.weebly.com. Thanks.